This is a movie review on the movie Paul the Apostle. It was put out in 2005. The movie begins with writing on the screen saying, shortly after the crucifixion of Christ, a man named Saul became Jesus' greatest enemy. He would be remembered as St. Paul. In any story about Paul, it is important to note this because Paul, who had once killed Christians, wrote most of the New Testament. The movie does a good job at showing the disagreement between the Pharisees and Sadducees. The movie shows Paul saving Barnabas' life early in the movie, which there is no record of this. The movie did a good job portraying Gamaliel, who may or may not have been a believer, but one thing is for certain. He did defend the early church as seen in Acts chapter 5, verse 33 to 39. The movie mixes up Peter's preaching on the day of Pentecost and when the cripple at the temple gate was healed. These events took place at two different times, but the movie puts them together as one. It misquotes Acts 2:38. The movie did a good job of portraying the man who was healed at the temple gate, how he was walking and jumping and praising God. They sprinkle baptize in the movie. Now, I'm not saying this is altogether wrong, but I believe that when it is possible, baptism should be done by immersion. Now, it's not always possible because, like the thief on the cross, I believe he was baptized by Jesus' spear wound. The movie has it that the apostles didn't follow the dietary law before Paul converted. That didn't happen until years later when the Lord told Peter to kill and eat. It has Reuben quoting Christians. While this may be what the Sadducees believed, it is not what the scriptures meant. The movie does a good job of making it clear at the time Paul was persecuting Christians, he thought he was doing the right thing. The movie did a good job at showing how people were afraid of Paul when he first came to the faith. I thought it was funny that it had Paul asking a scared Barnabas to baptize him. The movie quotes Paul as saying, "We must rush in like bulls. We must crash through their pagan gods like this boat through the sea." But there's no record of Paul saying this. It left out a lot when quoting Acts 20, Romans 8, and 1 Corinthians 13. The movie puts Paul's trial before Felix, Festus, and Agrippa together as one trial when it was really three separate trials. The movie tells a good story of redemption about how Paul, who once killed the Christians, led many to Christ. And the same God who changed Paul can change anyone.